Hello guys, it's your girl again, Nelly Usman. Nelly for short if you like. I am back. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy with all the loves and likes and comments I've been getting. So I am back to talk about another gist here in Canada. Welcome to all my returning subscribers. Welcome to all friends and family all over the world who are trying to join this channel. Welcome to everyone. You are all welcome. Please subscribe to this channel. Please click on the notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I upload new videos. Please like, comment on anything you want me to talk about. That's why I'm here. Yeah. Because I'm here to serve you guys, and I'm enjoying this whole process. It's kind of very interesting, and I hope you guys will love this video. So relax with your popcorn, like I always say, and enjoy this video with me. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some cheap universities or colleges we can attend here in Canada. These schools are kind of very affordable by anyone. So if you can relax and just walk with me through this video, you'll be able to know that there are some cheap schools you can attend. So if you guys are part of my journey on this vlog, you will notice that I posted a video some weeks ago where I talked about 5 categories of women who should migrate to Canada. And I got a comment on the comment section, and someone sent a message and stated, I think the name is Olainka, if I can remember, stated, how can one migrate to Canada without breaking the bank, like spending so much money? And I thought of it, I was like, that's a good one. So the only route I could really recommend that you don't really need to break the bank, and you will come to Canada and you'll be able to do something with yourself, and you'll be a legal immigrant, apart from permanent resident, which take a lot of time and money. I think the other pathway one can try is the study route. We're all talking of jackpot. Some people jackpot to UK and all that, but I would always recommend Canada because of some benefits students get as immigrants here in Canada. Please just stay tuned and walk through this video with me. You'll be able to understand what I mean. I would say, if you're intending to come to Canada as a student, one thing you should have in mind is do your proper research. Have that in mind first. If you do a proper research, you'll be able to see that there are some schools that are very cheap and kind of very affordable, and also look at the cities, the province, if it's like there's some provinces that are very expensive. So there's some provinces that are also very affordable to live in. Cost of living is kind of very low. Accommodation and food. So those are the things you should look at, and the cost of the school fees. That is very important. If you don't have that in mind, please put that in mind when you're thinking of anything like coming to school here. Because using all the money you work for and all that to pay school fees, it's kind of very huge. We know we have responsibilities back home, so you think of all that when you're trying to choose a course. So for me, I would advise that you go for courses that won't take so long a time to complete, and you'll be able to pay with time. Like, you'll be able to pay because it's not so much. So if you're looking at those kind of schools, you should also have it in mind that you should check if this school has a postgraduate work permit, which means you can work after you finish schooling. And also, you should check the amount you can pay before you get, which word will I use now? There are schools that you have to pay a certain amount before you are given an admission and given documents for immigration. Like, they could give you documents that you could use to apply for visa. There are some schools that the amount they will call for you is outrageous. I would say outrageous because they are very expensive. Changing those kind of our Canadian dollar to whatever currency you're coming in here with, it will increase so much that it will be very expensive for anyone. So you look at all that. So bearing in mind that you've already been able to take care of things like that, you've looked at the cost, you've also checked if the school has a postgraduate work permit. Those are the things you should check. Very important. because with that you'll be able to come in with your spouse, even sometimes you're able to come in with your kids, and everybody will be comfortable because your spouse will be able to work. You too, as a student, will be able to work 20 to 40 hours in a week, which is very good. Like, you'll be living a life like a normal individual in Canada, but you're a student. So I would recommend that for anyone. So let's dive into those schools that could give you work permit and as well give you postgraduate work permit, right? One of them is, well, my people, another university you can look out for is University of Victoria. It's in British Columbia. Like I said, University of Victoria. It is in British Columbia. Their school fees is as low as $8,000. $8,000. And the deposit you need to pay before you're able to get documents for immigration is like $2,000, which is not so much. You're not going to break the bank to get those kind of money. When you come here, you start working, you start paying your fees. That's what a lot of people do. I'll say it's something you could try. So go do your research and see if there are courses you want to study there. It is in British Columbia. But bear it in mind that British Columbia is very expensive to live in. That city is kind of very expensive. Depends though. But generally, British Columbia is very expensive. So do your research properly. Look out for everything. Accommodation. If you have friends and family there who can accommodate you, that's something you should look out for. But if not, please do your research very well before you step into a province like that, because I know it's very expensive to live in. Another university we should look at is New Brunswick Community College. That is a good school. I've heard so many people talk about that school, and it's very affordable. They have school fees as low as $5,000, and the initial deposit is like $500. That is crazily cheap. Please go and do your research about the school and see if there's any course you could go in for. And I heard there are a lot of Nigerian community or black community there. In my research, I realized the place is kind of very affordable in respect to, or in regards to, accommodation and cost of living. So it's something you should look out for. It's a school that you could graduate. Just go for a course that you could always get a job in Canada. Before you go for any course, go on your Google or your Indeed and search, like, there are jobs available for this course. If there are no jobs available, please, my brother, my sister, make you run. Because the essence of you coming to study is for you to be able to find a job. So if you're not able to find a job, why study a course that you can find a job? So as low as the school fees is $5,000 and initial deposit is $500, you should go for a course that you'll be able to get a job. Please have that in mind. Okay, it's very important we have all this in mind when doing anything, and try as much as you can to do, even if you have someone helping to pull you through the process, have your own, do your own research to know what's up with that thing. Not you coming here and you realize I can't do anything. Like, I know the school, definitely with the college you'll be able to get postgraduate work permit, which is very important for anyone coming in. That is very, because after school you'll be able to stay back and work and do some other stuff. So that is very important, postgraduate work permit. So look at those things and take your decision and forge ahead. One of the schools that could give you an affordable tuition fee is University of Manitoba. Manitoba is a province here in Canada, and I think the cost of living there is kind of very affordable, not so high. So it's something one should consider when coming to Canada. University of Manitoba, go through their sites and check for courses. I think there are some I saw for $8,700, which when you convert to our Nigerian money is like 6 to 7 million, which is not so much, because the initial deposit you will make for that school is like $2,000, and if you convert that, it's like maybe 1.5 million. You pay that before you come into the country. Like, you pay that, and then they will be able to give you documents for you to proceed to apply for your visa. And those monies are always refundable if the school, if finally you're not able to get a visa. They are always refundable. I think the only amount that is not refundable is your application fee. Sometimes some of them charge $100, some $150. It depends on the school. So for University of Manitoba, you could get courses, or you could go for courses that are kind of very cheap, because to live in the province is very cheap. And you could get a school for as low as $8,700, which is not so bad. Compared to some schools we see here in Canada, some of them are very expensive. So look at that school and check the courses you could go in there for. And one thing you should have in mind is try to go for courses that you know after you finish study, you'll be able to get a job. Because that's the essence of why you're coming to study. Not after you study, you are not able to find a job. It becomes a problem for you and your family. Go for courses, do your research very well. Not just the affordability of the school fees, that's one thing for sure, but also the kind of course you're coming to study. That one is very important. Don't go and study something that you'll not be able to find a job.
Can you imagine? Hey, wow.
Please, I beg you, go for a course that you'll be able to find a job at the end of the day, which make a lot of sense. Another university you can look out for is Memorial University of Newfoundland. Newfoundland is a province here in Canada. So if you go to the website, you can go out to the school and check. I think the school, some of the courses is as low as $6,700, which is very, very, very cheap by people. I beg, try that one. Very, very cheap. Compared to some schools we see here, that one is very cheap. So I don't know, I won't be able to dive into the different courses you can go for, but just take your time to do your research and see which school you think you can afford. Memorial University of Newfoundland, that's another one. So try that and you'll be happy you did. You will come back to say thank you. Okay? But not the least school I will talk about is Nova Scotia Community College. Nova Scotia Community College. The school, the least fees or the cheapest fees, it's not so cheap though, compared to others I've talked about. It's like $11,500, which is not so cheap. Well, but the down payment or the money you pay before you're able to get your documents for immigration is like $2,000. So you could try that too. We all know that Nova Scotia is kind of very expensive in regards to accommodation, so you look into that when you're looking at that school. But in all, these are options, right? So if you have these options, just go for the best that suits your situation. Well, if you have a relative there, so you'll be able to walk through accommodation. So what you'll be looking at is trying to pay your fees and do other things with yourself. So everybody's situation is different. So that's why I'm giving options of every province around Canada. So if you have options around this province, you may not have options around the other province. So you'll be able to take a decision on where you have family members and friends who could help you, because that is very important in your migration journey. Having people who could like show you around, direct you on where to get stuff, tell you the cheapest place to get this, bus pass, whatever. It helps the situation for any newcomer. So look at all that and see if Nova Scotia is where you want to go to. If it is, then look at the cheap schools they have there and try to process. The last school on my list is right here in the province where I am. I've even called the school myself to just seek information to know what's up with the school, and it is called Saskatoon Business College. The only thing I have with that school is that they don't have postgraduate work permits, so have that in mind. After study, you don't have postgraduate work permits. That means you're not permitted to work after school. So is it that you go back to your country? I don't know. So, but their fees is kind of very affordable. You have some courses as low as $8,700, and the initial deposit is like $3,000. And to live here in Saskatoon is very affordable. Cost of living is kind of very reasonable. So it's something you could look at. Saskatoon is a beautiful city. It's still growing. It's still expanding. A lot is happening here. A lot of businesses are springing up. A lot of, it's a small city growing, It's in the province of Saskatchewan. So have that in mind and see if it's where you want to come to, because I know for sure that when there's a will, there's a way. So look for a way and let it happen for you. Nobody sits down and things happen. You have to take a leap and you have to take it by faith. These are the schools I have in mind when I said I will talk about some schools that are kind of very cheap and affordable here in Canada. Because the notion a lot of people have is Canada is very expensive in regards to education, but that's not all true. Compare these fees with what we have in the UK, I would say I would choose Canada. Why would I choose Canada, you will say, or you will ask? The reason why I would choose Canada is because after study, it is most likely you'll be able to work after study. But in the UK, it is a tug of war for a lot of them, because after they study, whatever they've gone there to study, it's a struggle to get a job with it. But here in Canada, it is not so a struggle if you go for a course that is in the market, the job market. Then also, you'll be able to find your pathway through to get your permanent residency, which, for instance, if you study for like a year or 2 years, after then, you can start processing your permanent residence in the 3rd year, which you all know will take like a year again. So in 3 years, you'll be able to get your permanent residency. Unlike those in the UK who take like 7, 8, 10 years to become permanent residents. I've heard so many stories about that country. I would encourage you, if you have the mind of coming to Canada to study. Canada is a lovely city to be in. It's very peaceful. The people are loving. The people are accommodating. And cost of living here in some areas is very cheap. If you notice in this video, I didn't talk about some province because I don't want to talk about it. We all know the highest so far, I think Ontario, the cost of living there is very high. So if you're coming as a student and you want to live in Ontario, maybe you're a baby girl, you know, the money plenty. The money plenty, why not if not? If you go do them, run them well. But if you know you're still struggling, like a lot of people are, go to a province that is kind of very affordable, and you'll be able to find a job, and you'll be able to find friends and relatives who could help you. Thank you guys for watching to the end. I'm so grateful. I'm happy that you are here, and I'm happy you'll be able to listen to my video. Please share with family and friends. Please like and comment on anything you want me to talk about. It is very important to me because it makes me know where my audience want me to enlighten them more. So thank you and God bless, and I will see you some other time.